Welcome everybody to Stop 7 on my Summer Abroad series, and in this stop we're actually going to be stopping at a cemetery in Italy for the film Della Morte dell'Amore, otherwise known as Cemetery Man. So in case you don't know what this film is about, it's about a cemetery man who must kill the dead a second time when they become zombies. So overall, well, it was really good. Highly recommended by my friend Aaron, and directed by the same director that directed Stage Fright. I know his first name is pronounced as Michael, but I can't remember how to pronounce his last name. Regardless, the opening zoom shot out of the skull is a pretty cool way to actually start the film. I really like that. And the overall opening of the film, before we get like the title of the film, it perfectly sets up what the film is going to be like when the first returner is killed. And returner is the name that they use for zombies in the film. I don't think zombie is actually like the word is said at all throughout the film. I think it's just returners, and it might just be that first instance. Overall, I found it darkly comedic. The cinematography is great, well written, lighting is great. I could probably see this as being a double feature to one of my favorite films of all time, Demon Knight. So, like, it just had the same kind of, I guess you could say, look in a way. But this one might have actually, I'm not sure which one came out first. If you know, let me know in the comments. I know I could look it up on IMDb since it's open, but the owl after She's death. So she is the main female character in the film, and so the owl after her death could be a reference to the earlier film Stage Fright. I'm not 100% sure though. If you know, put it down in the comments. There's a small reference to the shower scene in The Shining. The Boy Scouts in the film, I think they're supposed to represent another movie, but I can't place it. If you know, put it down, or maybe I'm just reaching for references, but it just seemed like a familiar sight. Like I might have seen it in another film or heard of that in another film. I don't know. The camera focus is on point. There's some focus pulling in some scenes. The framing overall is great. Like there's a couple scenes where you see characters appear to have angel wings from the statue. I won't get into which scenes, but there's a DVD Blu-ray cover that shows exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even think I can actually put it in. And then there was a scene where the main character, Francesco Della Morte, where he's burning this document, or his assistant ends up burning this document or whatever, and as the fire is burning and the hole in the page is burning, you see like the burning paper framing Francesco, and it's just a really cool like framing, I guess you could say, framing device. The effects overall are well executed. Yeah, the zombie makeup is pretty good and all that. So one thing that I found a little bit confusing was the multiple she's in the film. I guess you could say a slight spoiler, but the actress that plays she actually plays the character 3 times in the film, I think. Again, as you can see, I'm kind of getting confused in how to actually describe it. For me, it was actually a confusing aspect to the story. I wasn't sure what that was supposed to be or mean or whatever. I don't know. If you watching know what the director was going for with having that aspect in the story. Let me know in the comments. And I think at the end there's a snow globe kind of concept, which I think is really cool. And there's only a couple films that I can name off the top of my head that kind of deal with like that kind of concept where the film takes place inside that snow globe. The other one that's the main one that's coming to mind right now is the 2016 film, I think, called Krampus, and directed by another Michael, which was also a really good film. And overall, if I had to give De La Morte Delamore a rating, taking, like, of course, everything into account, like any confusing aspects and all that, I'd probably give it a 9.99 out of 10. I know it's not very often I bring out the 3 digits, but yeah. So hope you enjoyed this review of De La Morte Delamore. If you have anything you'd like to add to this, let's turn the comment section into like some sort of discussion. And yeah, and then maybe later on I can take a lot of these topics or whatever and then discuss it in a more formal manner in a proper discussion video on the film. Give the video a like if you'd like to see that. So up next, I think we're starting to get into some of the more foreign films. I think episode 8 or stop 8, however you want to call it, it's going to be in Turkey for the film Baskin. That's a fun one. So I'll see you in that one. Thank you for watching.